is interested to talk at that time, to think at that time. Whatever is pop up in our mind, you know, it looks like we have fence around us. Don't let the people come to see us, to talk to you. At that time, you need your own time. You want to stay alone, but you don't feel lonely. Any feeling, any problem. So why, when we come to sit meditation, you have to think you don't have anything to do at that time. You have to keep away. How long you take meditation? Only 5 minutes, only 10 minutes, only 20 minutes, only half hour, only 1 hour. That is the time for yourself. You know, what else will happen? How about after 1 hour? Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to think. But when you have experience about meditation, you can work with your meditation. You can solve about that problem. When you see the problem in your mind is really clear, and when you wake up, you go to do it. To keep going to your job. Sometimes your mind is stuck on that. You cannot think anything, you know. But when you take meditation, you breathe in, breathe out, your mind is clear. You can see that problem about you do it, about your responsibility. For now, we don't know what to do because it looks like our mind is really drowsy, not clear. Even we don't know about ourselves, right? Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think we should give it a live stream because it's kind of
We have been blessed in this community. That's been very impressed with this community. If you've ever been to the Utah Asian festival, you kind of know what goes on there. I think they hold at the Southtown Mall at a facility. But if you come to the Lao New Year Festival, it occupies the entire space of the monastery, and it's a very impressive operation. I've watched it grow over the last 15 years, and I believe it's actually bigger than the Asian festival because of the numbers that we're able to collect, the people that come. So this is an incredible community for doing big things when everybody comes together. And so spearheading from the success of the peace walk in the East Coast, there's some of these members that are asking us to consider doing a peace walk for Utah, and that they had even requested that it should take place around the U.S. 250th birthday. So that would be in July. And so I think, so John has made the decision that we think this is a very good thing, that it's a continuation of something that Utah can do to spread peace and to keep the message and the spirit of peace going through 2026 in these very turbulent, divided times. And so we would like to organize an organizing committee that's going to steer the bigger committee. And so the organizing committee, we would meet fairly quickly, and we would make a decision about what that walk would look like, identify the best day that it should happen between 4th and the 24th of July. The organized committee will be coordinating with law enforcement and safety, members of, depending on how many cities the walk would go through, and coordinate the safety concerns and that. The organizing committee would also be helping to contact all the Buddhist monasteries and temples in Utah and invite all the monks and priests to join. We'll probably have a blessing ceremony that all the monks can come together one day and do a blessing ceremony for the walk, and that way they get a chance to come together for the first time ever. I don't know over my lifetime in Utah if there's ever been an interfaith community where all the Buddhist monks come together from the various traditions, from the three traditions, as well as the temples and the monasteries. So I don't ever remember there's a time they've ever come together. So this would also be like an interfaith roundup for the Buddhist community. And so my vision would be is then the organizing committee would help them organize within their own temples to get communications out. So all their members of each of the Buddhist community would also participate in the walk. And then, of course, the communication, we would set a date that mass communication would go out throughout statewide as far as we can reach. I think it would be fairly easy, similar to the same format that, No Kings people do very well. We are familiar with that format. And so I think this is a good start for us. So we're going to be, I guess we'll send out a contact number or email, and then for those of you who are interested in being part of the organizing committee, then of course, let us know so we can then we'll set a date to meet right away with John, and we'll leave it up to the committee to basically design what it would look like as far as the distance, where it would start, where it would end, and what that would look like, by ceremony, the design, what it would look like, and also once we arrived at our destination, what types of spiritual ceremonies would take place. Be it some entertainment and some inspirations and other. It'll be very new for the Buddhist community. It's never done this before. And so I think this is kind of exciting to do it. And so I envision that one example would be is that all the monks and monastic members could lead the walk, okay? And then, is there room and creativity to include the interfaith communities from all other religions to also join? And then they would walk with the Buddhist monks. What would that look like? So I think it's we're open for it. I think it just needs to be beautiful and peaceful, and to basically support the spiritual development and to inspire people to maintain their peace and to spread that energy to at least try to stabilize this very chaotic world. So, any questions?
Can I share briefly about the program? So we plan to, on the program, we're going to walk from 9,000 South State Street all the way to Capitol. We're going to start around 7 or 8 in the morning. It's going to be total 11 miles. And then everybody will meet at Long Island Market, which is, there's a big parking lot. I already talked to them. They will host us to park there. And then we're going to start the walking from one location and walk all the way to Capitol, which is total 11 miles. And by 11 o'clock, we're going to order like a Vietnamese sandwich, and they're going to deliver to where we're going to have a rest area for the lunch. And on the 11 mile, I did talk over with Ajahn with it. That's why we're going to, ask him later on. Whoever cannot come walk with us for total 11 miles, they can meet us, like, let's say, certain spot. We're going to have the route planned out. And let's say someone just want to meet us like 2 miles to the Capitol, that's fine. If someone that they don't think that they can walk that far, then we're going to have a bus to bring us back from the Capitol all the way back to the parking lot. And then whoever, they feel free like to join on that route, And the food will be ordered, and there may be someone want to cook the food and bring it in, that's fine, but that's a more detail. But I just thought that it's important for me to update like the route. It's going to be from 9,000 South State Street, 11 miles total. And if we can start at 7, then we will be there at 3. And we're going to have ceremony over the Capitol. That's our kind of plan. And that's the most thing that I talked to Ajahn. But I want to, after his blessing, we can talk to him. Any question on that? Steven?
I guess that is one option. So I guess, again, we'll form the committee and we'll let the committee do its work. So.
And remember, this walk, we are going to talk about it, plan about it together. What is the best? And we will invite all community to come and walk with us. I even want to invite some of the monks that walk with Ajahn to come that day. And yeah, Ajahn is available. Can you share what your thought about this, Ajahn? Can you share?
Good news if we can do it, but how many percent that we can do it, Stephen, when but for me, I already that's I wish this occasion is to happen, whatever in this year or next year, because we can settling, I need the people to come together, to walk together, that is a good time. We can communicate with each other, whoever, any religion, anyone, we can make the same group. We walk together for peace. It's not, we cannot do only one or only one community. We have to do every community, everyone. We have to work together. I want to inspire this world, to remind this world that we have peace. We have peace already. But right now, just only waiting for us to open our mind. If everyone's minds are open, we will have peaceful. We can make this world is a better place to live. Yeah. But how many percent is it happen, Stephen?
It's on you now, Stephen.
Oh. Well, I think the temperature is very easy to tell. I mean, if you have people who are protesting, if you look at the No Kings and what it represents, and I think a peace walk is broader than that. I think it covers a lot more, universal values. And so I think that opens a lot more participations. So we're going to find out soon, and I think there's ways to know that through the platforms and social medias. Because if you actually followed the no walks where you actually entered their emails or so, you registered, they knew who was coming for the ones that registered, so they were able to know those numbers, and then each week that number increased. And then they sent emails a few days out, reminding people if there's changes or weather or whatever. Their format's it's really simple. I don't know if any one of you have did that for this last, how well that worked, right? It was really simple. Even the mission purpose was just a simple half page, and people already kind of know why they want to do certain things. And so I think for a new idea connected to this, universal purpose for peace, I think it just needs to, I think the sooner we get that out there, the message, and promoted, and using the news and the mediums, and a lot of companies, because they're the ones who actually kind of made this request as well. So we've got a lot of corporate partners and government relations that will help push it all out. So it's endless, but I think the exciting part is you get to see, I guess how sick the world is, because those are the people that are going to want to be a part to make a difference. So, but I would say that you look at the numbers from the No Kings, walk. I think it's close. So it's either going to be bigger or around that, because of the No Kings format. So, does anybody else want to make a remark on that question that John had about estimating those numbers? I'm just comparing the purpose of a peace walk, which is very much, if close to what No Kings is about, anyways. So if you look at that, I think there's people who, I think it's just choosing the day to not conflict with the 4th of July day where people are leaving town and so forth. So it's between 4th and the 24th. If it's the July 14th, that Saturday, or is a Friday, that's something that I am going to rely on the organizing talents, people in that talent pool that have a lot, or even somebody they know that knows those statistics and how it works. And I'm sure the organizing committee can reach out to the No Kings organizers and get a lot of basic information. So I really like their format. So that would be my recommendation is to kind of be mentored by them, because I think they do it so successful. So that's my answer. It's not short, but that's my answer.
Okay.
I think they could also give some ideas of what
Yeah.
in terms of law enforcement.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm not concerned. It's because there are so many walks, and a lot of us I've been on very large organizing committees, so I kind of know those pieces. But I think the No Kings protest or walk is closer to what we're trying to achieve, as far as the purpose. And so I think it would be good to work with them in getting, a template, and that way, then the organizing committee doesn't need to focus too much about, because the template is there. Then we can just get to working on the creative piece, what will make it special and different, that marketing piece for peace, how peace can resonate for a peace walk and transform that. Okay, so but like I said, it sounds like Victoria has some ideas. She's been involved all in the Asian community with a lot of music festival and other things. So you're seeing her mind get very her talents coming out. But like I said, I think the committee just needs to meet and answer these basic goals that we want to meet and put it together. Yes, and invite your friends if they have talent as well. And that's another thing I think is we need a window where through you all and then probably a bigger blast so that we can attract and get all the talent that we need to fill the organizing committee's talents they need to make this happen. So
A Google document or a form for.
Yeah. I think these days we don't even need forums, but because you can, like I said, if I was so impressed with No Kings, if you on the No Kings format, once you invite yourself in, there were other options of what you wanted to do. If you wanted to teach a class on immigration law, train the trainer, and so forth, they had all these in there. So I really like their platform. Whoever made it, we could get to the right people.
I also think that we want to make sure we want to separate ourselves to a certain extent.
No, that's easy. I'm just saying again, we just want to adopt, the IT and the software piece to driving this, but absolutely, I'm sure though we're going to intermingle those. I think when it spreads.
Fine, as long as I just don't want us being part of our states because they think are.
So that's the job of the organizing committee to make that clear. That's the marketing piece, and I'm sure it's they're going to probably, and of course there's probably going to be news media interviews that there's opportunities to clarify that, right? But I think the committee can work on that piece and create the face of it, and I think just having the artwork behind that will illustrate what it's about, And so I'm going to put a lot of trust in the talent of the organizing committee, and I really have faith in them. I do.
I have a question about the word of this. That means do they have a meaning? The first that look like no king, but we separate from political.
I think she just said that. Again, I brought up no king, but you didn't listen to what I said. I said if you actually did participate, which you had to go to the app and sign up, it's very impressive. Okay? I didn't say we're doing anything like that. We're saying that these guys do it. They've done it multiple times. And I've watched them improve each time. And this last time was the most simple. Okay? So all I'm saying is you use their template to consider that. Okay? They're tools. Okay? But it's kind of like when you build a web design, right? If you show up at a web design and you're selling this and not that, you know what you're buying. Okay? The no kings thing is just saying that they have a really good tools in my opinion. So, and I'd be willing at that meeting to share with you if you didn't have an opportunity, but I actually printed out all their forms and their apps and that, and you can see how easy you could easily go in. And because all they're doing is they're using a software, an app, an application to do it. But it's really to dealing with thousands of people. Okay, you can't handle by email when you at these numbers. Okay, so you need to use these appropriate applications. Okay, so, but like I said, I'm not worried. A lot of us who work in community affairs and that, we work with a lot of talent these days with the younger generation. Once you get organizing, again, the Creator will bring us talented people. And I think that, so I really do have faith that we're going to have all the right people. So
we're going to have another meeting just about planning for this one.
yes, yeah. Well, we'll need an organizing meeting, and the purpose, and I can set the agenda for that, and then probably the organizing committee needs to set some guidelines and some deadlines. Okay. For example, we need to be able to onboard contact all the religious leaders from the Buddhist temples, and then probably invite that we ask that they, send one member of their temple to be on the committee. That way, that person can also make sure that all the members of their temple is aware of the activity, and that all the Buddhists can also come and join.
So I have the form to sign up to things. One is about the walk for peace, okay, and one is about this activity. Sometimes we will stand in the message of the group. So sometimes something coming up, I always
So from what I talked to John about is that this is an complete open community. This is a Utah community affair, right? It's even beyond interfaith, right? All we're saying is that most people know what the Peace Walk is about. But this is going to be a short version Peace Walk for Utah, okay? And so for people who are passionate about that, we invite them to announce themselves and be part of it and bring their talent. And then we'll have to have only a certain, number of organizing members that we're going to have to accept, to make sure that the group has all the talent we need to get the work done. So
for the time being, I think Sarah want to already talk to Ajahn. She want to continue have that meeting, right? So you want, yeah. You can. Did you turn off the live stream? That be done, right? Okay, this one, Sarah, I think we can always share among our group about what you're concerned. Yeah, you can sit up here. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, we want to hear from Achan too.
Okay, everyone. We don't have much time today to meditate and to walk in meditation. We just answer the question and we have the meeting, and see you later. Thank you so much.